Welcome everyone to today's Explainer. Usually when we talk about business strategy, startups, or regulatory compliance, we picture fancy corporate boardrooms, right? But what if I told you there's an absolute masterclass in business dynamics hiding inside a simple village drama? Yep, today we're unpacking the fascinating rivalry between a traditional village dhaba and a brand new modern restaurant. We're going to see exactly what happens when old school legacy clashes head-on with new age business models.
Okay, let's dive right into this. I want you to picture this crazy scene. A massive crowd of villagers has gathered. They've got sticks and stones in their hands, and they are absolutely destroying a brand new glass-fronted modern restaurant. The mob is literally screaming their lungs out, shouting, "Until we break it, we won't leave it." I mean, talk about a business owner's worst nightmare, right? But the real question is, how on earth did things get to this point? What's the actual story behind this riot?
Well, to understand that, let's look at part 1. New restaurant in the village. The modern startup enters.
Let's rewind a bit to the very beginning. Meet Arjun. He's this young, super ambitious guy who moves from the city back to the village with a massive vision. He wants to start from scratch and give the locals a premium city-style dining experience. But guys, just like any startup, Arjun's journey is far from easy. He isn't just dealing with a vision. There are huge financial stakes here. He took out a hefty business loan from the State Bank of India and poured all his capital into building this gorgeous facility. But fast forward a few weeks, foot traffic is dropping fast. The bank is already calling, threatening to seize his assets if he misses his EMI payments. Arjun has a great product, but he is completely missing that crucial product-market fit. And man, that EMI clock is ticking loud.
Let's move to part 2 and see how this builds. Dhaba versus modern restaurant, the classic incumbent versus the struggling innovator.
So on one side, you have Arjun's restaurant, sparkling clean, super modern, but practically a ghost town. And right across the way, you have Mithu's traditional dhaba, which is just absolutely packed with customers. You know, this is such a classic business scenario, a struggling, innovative newcomer going up against an established, deeply loved legacy business. Mithu is a local legend. Years ago, during a terrible famine, he fed the whole village for free. Because of that, his brand loyalty is just off the charts. People are absolutely crazy about his Rajma Chawal and Parathas. But when Arjun sneaks over to figure out the secret to this massive success, he sees something that would literally give any modern business owner a heart attack.
What Arjun witnesses inside Mithu's kitchen is honestly a complete nightmare. I mean, there is zero ventilation in the cooking area, the cooks aren't wearing any gloves, the main chef is rolling dough and chopping veggies with incredibly sweaty hands, the walls are visibly filthy, and the kicker, the kid serving drinking water is literally dipping his bare fingers inside the glasses before handing them to customers. Arjun instantly realizes this place is a massive public health hazard, so he casually asks Mithu if he has an FSSAI license. And Mithu, bless his heart, innocently replies that he has absolutely no clue what that even is.
Which brings us right into part 3, FSSAI's raid, when regulations hit reality.
The very next morning, reality hits hard. A government jeep pulls up right in front of Mithu's dhaba. Officials and police step out. After years of operating with zero rules, the regulatory hammer finally drops on Mithu. Now, let's pause here for a quick sec to understand this. FSSAI, or the Food Safety and Standards Authority of India, is the national regulatory body that makes sure the food we eat is actually safe. Whether you run a tiny village dhaba or a massive luxury restaurant, you literally cannot operate without meeting their standards. Mithu didn't just lack a license, he lacked basic hygiene. The result? The officials immediately pull down the shutters and seal the dhaba on the spot.
And here is where the plot totally thickens. Who actually made the complaint? A devastated Mithu runs straight to the village sarpanch, or headman, crying. When asked who could have done this, Mithu remembers Arjun asking about the license the night before. Think about it from the village's perspective. Arjun's restaurant is failing, he's drowning in debt, so it seems obvious he tipped off the authorities to wipe out his competition, right? This massive misunderstanding is exactly what sparks the furious mob to attack Arjun's restaurant, taking us right back to that wild opening scene.
But the story doesn't end there. Let's look at part 4, exposing the real villain, jealousy in business.
As the angry mob is roughing up Arjun, he desperately swears on his father, Manjilal's name, that he had nothing to do with it. Now the villagers know Arjun would never fake an oath on his dad. So if not Arjun, then who? The mystery unravels when a dhaba worker mentions that a guy named Lullan was eavesdropping on Arjun and Mithu's private conversation the night before.
When the mob corners Lullen, he panics and makes a massive blunder. He blurts out that Arjun was complaining about Chow Mein, a detail nobody else in the village even knew about. Lullen totally outed himself. He had eavesdropped, made the anonymous tip to FSAI, and then accidentally confessed. But why on earth would Lullen do this?
And this brilliantly illustrates a dark side of business: pure jealousy. Years ago, Lullen had actually sold his own land to open a dhaba, but the whole thing went bankrupt in just 6 months. That failure just ate away at him. So seeing Arjun struggle with his new place, while Mithu was raking in cash with 0 rules, triggered all that old bitterness. Lullen basically thought, if I couldn't succeed, there is no way I'm letting them succeed either. It is a textbook case of a failed competitor choosing sabotage over self-improvement.
Now let's see how they fix this mess in Part 5. Old Foundation, New Beginning, the Strategic Village Merger.
So the crucial point is that tension here was sky high. Lullen is caught, Arjun's brand new restaurant is smashed to pieces, and Mithu's legendary dhaba is locked up by the government. They are both essentially ruined. But then the Sarpanch steps in and pulls off something incredible. Acting like a top-tier business consultant, he proposes a strategic merger. Just think about the synergy here. Arjun brings the modern business knowledge. He understands hygiene, FSSAI compliance, and restaurant management. On the flip side, Mithu brings the deeply loved local flavors, a fiercely loyal customer base, and the funds needed to repair the structural damage. When you combine the two, boom, you get an unstoppable business model. A fresh, modern start built on a solid traditional foundation.
To wrap it all up, the Sarpanch drops a famous local proverb that perfectly sums up the situation. The boy is by your side, but you search the whole city. Basically, the solution they were desperately looking for was right next door the whole time. Arjun tried to force the city model onto the village, and Mithu completely ignored modern standards. But by merging their strengths, they created absolute magic. So as we close out this explainer, I want to leave you with this. How can you apply this exact synergy of traditional wisdom and modern standards in your own life or business? Is there a perfect partner or solution right in front of you that you've been totally ignoring? Think about it. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I'll catch you in the next one.